Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you're subscribed. You guys that watch the channel would know that I recently put a new stock. I put the Archangel stock on my Mosin. This is my M9130 for you guys that are familiar with Mosins. All kind of cool doodads. Me personally, I like it better this way than the old wood furniture. That's part of the barrel wood right there. About half of you guys said, hey, I like that new stock, that's awesome. And the other half said, man, you're crazy, you gotta put the regular old school wood back on. But either which way, I like this stock, and I said the next step that I want to do is put an optic on this thing. Me, I have very good eyes, but 100 yards, 200 yards, it is extremely hard to get a good group with iron sights. I mean, okay, yeah, you can get a deer at 100 yards, but I'm talking about, I want to see what kind of precision groups, like 1-inch groups or better, we can get with a Mosin. And I just can't do that with iron sights. Anyways, I said the next thing I wanted to do was put an optic on this thing. Well, guess what? My good buddy Paul over at Heavy Metal has a Mosin with an optic already on it. He said I could borrow and take for a spin until I get a scope on my M9130. So check this thing out. This one, Randy, I know you watching the videos, this is the one of Paul's that you and I have talked about. So this is also a Mosin, but it's not an M9130 like that one. This is an M44, which is a carbine barrel length. I might as well put them up side by side. So, ooh, that sucker's heavy. You see how much longer the barrel is there. Quite a bit longer. But Paul has this M44. Quite honestly, I forget where he got it. I think somebody traded it to him or something. And it already had this rail put on it and this scope, which most people would call this a scout style optic. So back here is where the eye relief is. So most, hunting rifle scopes should be about like 3 inches off of it. This is a scout style scope to where that is the perfect length. So for this video, we're going to take this baby out to the range. This M44 Mosin with the scout scope and the pick rail already on it. See how we can do. I'm going to do 50 yards groups, 100 yard groups, and 200 yard groups, and just see how we can do. This only has 7 zoomies, which for me, in order to get precision groups at 100, 200 yards, I like something more like 24 zoomies, but we're going to do the best we can with these 7 zoomies. We might just have a little bit of fun and put a ridiculous scope on this thing for another video. Comment down below if you want to see that. But let's get to the range, see how I can do. We're probably going to have to sight this in first. See what happens. Check it out. Let's hit the range. Alright, so out here at the range, I checked this scope with the torque wrench. It was pretty loose. It might have been fine, but I torqued it some more. And then I laser bore sighted the scope too. It actually wasn't too far off of where it should have been, so whoever had this before, it was actually pretty much sighted in. And it doesn't want to load real good here. We're just going to go with that. There we go. Put the glasses on. But first shot's at 50 yards. We'll get it sighted in at 50, and then we'll stretch it out even further here. Mosin with a scope on it. Didn't see it. Missed the whole paper at 50 yards. Aim lower this time. Looks like maybe we hit way right. Let me hold right this time. See what happens. Yep, so we need to come right a lot. Hopefully that scope is holding good. It's feeding good now. Maybe it just needed a little kick. So it's hitting way left, we need to come right. I'm not even going to count them, I'm just going to send it. Holding on the bottom X again. Need to come right about that much more. Then another one. Now we're up about 4 inches and left about an inch, so then we're going to come down. Bunch of clickies. Now let's see where this one hits. Went right too far. Now we'll do a group at the between the X up there, or plus sign. Looking good. Yeah, I might just have to trade old Paul for this one. Might just have to trade. That's grouping good at 50 yards. I'm gonna go ahead and click it left some. And let's do a 3-shot group at 100 here. It's not grouping that good, is it? Come down some more. That one was on. Let's do some more groups. Do two more 3-shot groups. It wasn't starting to look good, but it's looking better now. Do one more group at 100. Alright, so back from the range and very first impressions. 50 yards, I like it. 100 yards, I like it. 200 yards, 7 power zoom is not enough. I don't think, for me, to get precision groups. So is it enough to be like a battle thing, or you know, take a deer with it at 200 yards? You're pushing it with a 7 power scope, I'd say. Me personally, with this rig as it sits, I would not take a shot at a deer past 100 yards. But these did not come this way. They came with the iron sights, right? But I like the rig. I like it with the scope a lot better with the irons. Let's take a look. See how I did here real quick. I measured these groups with the calipers. So at 50 yards, first I had to sight it in. That's what all this dancing all over the place was. I used a laser bore sighter at the house, and I thought it was pretty close, but apparently my left and right was not as close as I thought it was. Then once I got it pretty decently sighted in, I did a 3-shot group right there. Again, this is at 50 yards. My 3-shot group at 50 yards, I got a .90. I didn't show you the ammo we're using. I gotta show you that. That's part of it. We're using some of that bar and all there, 7.62 by 54R soft point boat tails. So definitely you could use this for deer hunting. And these are 203 grain. So that's what we're using this entire video. Again, at 50 yards, my group was .90. I'll put that in the decent group range. Then at 100 yards, I was getting more and more comfortable with the setup, the trigger squeeze, the holds. So how many groups did we do here? We did 4 groups. This one was terrible. I didn't even measure it. That one was terrible. I didn't even measure it. At that point, I was thinking, this thing is just either the scope's messed up, the rings are not tight, which I torqued them myself before we went to the range. But then I think I was just getting more comfortable with it. So this group, I got a 2.89, still not that great. But then I got a 1.72 inch group. So 0.9 at 50, 1.72. This is where I said I would probably call it quits as far as deer hunting goes at 100 yards. Yeah, 1.7. That's in the close to acceptable range for deer hunting, I'd say. But then at 200 yards, like I said, that 7-power zoomies, is it enough for something like deer hunting if you're getting good groups? 7-power, sure. But 7-power zoom is not enough to guarantee that you're holding the exact same spot when you're trying to get some precision groups. 7-power zoom is just not enough. You know, oh yeah, you could shoot irons at 200, but you cannot sit there and tell me that you're holding the exact same spot at 200 yards every time. Need more zoomies for that. Anyways, let's look at how I did. It was not that good. So I did 2 3-shot groups at 200. I was holding this for 3 shots, and then I was holding this for 3 shots. What we ended up with was a hit way up here that must have been a terrible hold, and then one here, and then one of these. So that's like a 10-12 inch group. And then this one, oddly enough, my hold up and down must have been a lot better because I had 1, 2, 3 right across the exact same plane. And my group was, I don't know which one of these was the exact one, but that's probably a 6-7 inch group left to right. And that is probably just my hold, right? Not being the exact same spot every time. Which we can see from one being way up here at 200. But I think what I want to do, just for fun, we got the boo lots, we got the bing bang. Also, before I get rid of this paper, the drop there. Notice we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the same plane there. So that's good enough data for me to say what that drop is from 200 yards. Which, that's a lot of drop, guys. We'll go ahead and call that 9 inches of drop at 200 yards. That's dropping fast. That's dropping real fast. A lot of people call 7.62 by 54 30-06 of the commies. Well, we're going to have to do some digging. I don't think the ballistics are nearly as close as people are saying. Anyways, all that being said, 50 yards we did pretty good. 100 yards we got a 1.7. 200 yards was kind of all over the place, but I don't think it's the boo lots or the bing bang. I think that's just my ability to hold the exact same spot. I couldn't do it with 7-power zoomies out there at the range today. But comment down below If you want to see me put a scope on here with a lot more magnification, we might as well do it, huh? But hey, appreciate y'all watching, tuning in for this scoped Mosin video. Big shout out and a big thanks to my buddy Paul at Heavy Metal. Y'all go subscribe to his channels. We will catch you on the next one. WHOTEEWHO!
Load it up and get it on as soon as you can. 30 on 6, 10 mil, 50 cap. It don't make a difference, man. We like to shoot and make a little boom boom. If you like